So I'm the founder and the CEO of Cloud of Goods, and it is a platform that enables people to rent things instead of having to buy everything. This journey towards Cloud of Goods started 10 years ago while I was still working at LinkedIn in the Silicon Valley. I was doing some backyard work at my house by the San Francisco Bay, and I needed a wheelbarrow. So I'm like, it's that ugly, bulky thing. I don't want to buy it. I just want to borrow it and let it go, right? So I jumped online, searched for a place to borrow a wheelbarrow. This was 2009, pre-sharing economy. So I couldn't find a way to connect to someone who I can borrow a wheelbarrow from. So I was like, there is an Amazon-like business opportunity here to build a platform for people to borrow stuff. That was my eureka moment. I was thrilled. I was like jumping up and down and talking to my friends, colleagues, and everybody was like, Punsri, I can't believe nobody has done this before. Go build it, because we are going to use it. And by the way, don't forget to call us before you go public. So I quit LinkedIn. And in my mind, everything was going to work out perfectly. I was going to be this fancy billionaire CEO who changed the world. And my photo was going to be on the cover of the Time magazine in a couple of years. I actually did make it to the Time magazine because Time magazine wrote an article about the sharing economy, and I was a part of it. 2 years fast forward, I was sitting on my couch in my living room, looking out the window, looking at the for sale sign outside of my house. I had lost everything. Down to zero, broken into pieces, down on the floor. Didn't know where to start, didn't know where to start rebuilding. Trust me, it was bad. So I called up my parents and I said, Mom and Dad, this is what has happened. And I have nowhere to go. I am coming back home. I moved back to Sri Lanka and moved into my old room at Mom and Dad's house. So I was down, right? One day, my mom walked up to me in my room and said, Son, I know you. I know you better than anyone else. You are strong, you're powerful, and you're smart. You are built to change the world, and you will. This is just a small setback. You can't give up. And she went on to tell me a story about a spider. And she said, look at the spider. Keep looking at how many times the spider tried to build that web. Every time when he makes progress, the wind takes it down. So the next time it tries it again, and the wind does it again. But it doesn't give up. Every time when it fails, next time it makes a little bit more progress until the web is fully complete. And the wind cannot take it down no more. And she said, learn from the spider. Don't give up. Just keep going. You can do this. That was the moment I got the inner power and the inspiration to get up, come out of my room, and try to start to walk again. So I decided that I had to learn what I did right and what I did wrong. So I sat in front of the computer, started digging into data, and also I started self-reflecting myself throughout the whole journey, writing down the rights and the wrongs. So what did I do right? Well, being the first-time entrepreneur, you know what? Not too many things. But the one thing that I did right was amazing. It was the idea. Looking through all the data, it was clear that the world wanted this platform. People wanted to rent, borrow things instead of having to be forced to buy everything, especially in today's age. So I was thrilled, right? So I'm like, okay, I was on the right path. So where did I go wrong? And I narrowed it down to like 3 main things. 1, focus. or rather lack of focus. I was trying to build this platform that would be everything to everyone, which ended up becoming nothing to no one. And I was trying to rent garden equipment to power tools to household gear to baby gear, right? It didn't go well. So this time around with Cloud of Goods, we're super focused on the travel industry. So as a traveler, when you go to a new city, everything that you need, you don't have to lug it anymore or have to worry about finding it at your destination. You can just simply make a booking and we will meet you at your destination with the stuff. 2, not listening to your customers and your advisors and not learning fast enough. I remember in my garage in San Francisco, during my advisory board meeting, the advisor said, Punsri, you're trying to do too many things at the same time. You're spread too thin, you're not focused, you're going to fail. I didn't listen. And I remember customers sending me all kinds of feedback. I didn't listen. So this time around with Cloud of Goods, we're super focused. I actually had focus groups before I even started the product. And that is how we narrowed it down to travel as the initial vertical. Number 3, cash flow management. Very important. Being a software engineer, I was like, software is everything, right? So I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on Silicon Valley engineers. I tried to outsource, that didn't work. So I spent a lot of money to build software, whereas I should have put some money to balance the equation on all the other important components of a successful business. Marketing, business development, community building, brand building, all of those things. So learning that, I built an offshore tech team who can function like a Silicon Valley tech team. That was my second venture in Sri Lanka while I was still in Sri Lanka, and that became profitable within the first year of launch, and it helped a lot of entrepreneurs along the way and still standing, and they built Cloud of Goods ground up, 100% in Sri Lanka, and you can see the website, the quality, it's like Silicon Valley website. And that helped me save a lot of money. That I was able to put into other components of the business and bootstrap it to a level that I could raise a $3.5 million seed round last year. And we have spread it into 10 cities around the country. We have outgrown San Francisco, and we are from East Coast to West Coast, 10 cities right now, and planning to launch more and more. And currently, we are just starting to talk to investors about raising a Series A to take the company global. So the journey is not over yet. This is still the early stages. We know we still have a tough journey ahead of ourselves. But every time the headwinds hit, every time the failure hits, that little spider is in my head now to remind me not to give up. So if you are an entrepreneur, don't worry about the failure. Failure is part of life. Just keep that spider in your head, because it will remind you to keep going. Thank you.